Feel free to come forward, guys.
Yeah, don't be shy. I won't make you do this bit. Upside down. Yeah, just cut either side of the backbone.
Are they just regular kitchen scissors?
Yeah, like poultry shears. That's one with a good bit of grip so you can get behind it. And then just down this side. Nice and straightforward. Okay, so we move the backbone. Then you want to have a little look for the little breastplate here, which is a little V at the bottom there. And you just want to get your scissors in and give that a little snip. Okay. And then there's sometimes an extra little bit of fat on the inside, which means it's a good quality chicken. So I'm just going to trim that out. Okay, we'll do the same on this side. To either side of the spine. And then this side. Yeah, knife will work as well. Yeah, nice sharp knife. And then you can use this for sauces, for stocks. You know, you don't need to throw it away. Trim out that little bit of fat in there. Sometimes there's a little bit of kidney or something left on the inside. You have to be scared of. Just pick it out. No bother. And again, we'll trim that little bit in the middle. There we go. Then the fun bit, you just flip it over. You want to pretend you're trying to bring it back to life with a nice crunch. Stuck in at the chiropractor. And same on this side, just move that string. And then once more. There we go, look at that, looking gorgeous. So the idea of this, it helps it to cook nice and evenly, it will cook nice and quickly as well. A couple of little tricks you can do is if you get some skewers, we're going to try and skewer it all the way across in a bit of a crisscross shape. What that means is as it gets really close to being cooked, if you keep flipping it and turning it, you don't lose an arm over there and a leg over there. It'll help to keep it together for you. So we're going to try and go across from the thigh. Again, giving it a bit of a twist as you go, you can help. Okay, that'll do. And same across here. So to start with, it doesn't really matter, but it definitely helps as it gets more and more cooked. Okay. You can see like it's got some structural rigidity already.
Does it not burn?
But the sticks?
Do you soak them in water first? Or
No,
do you shove them in?
no, shove it in. Even if the ends burn, the insides will kind of stay within the chicken. As long as you remember they're there. And if you forget, just say it comes with a free toothpick when someone finds it. Okay. Now again, I've not done it today, but I am quite a fan of a dry brine on a chicken. So that's where you might put it on a cooling rack, a wire rack, and then put salt on one side, flip it, salt on the other side, and leave it in the fridge overnight or a couple of hours. And through osmosis, it'll draw out moisture from the chicken, and then it will draw the salt back in. So you might dry out the skin a little bit more, you might see some kind of blotchy patches, but it'll season it kind of all the way throughout. It's a nice way of doing it. The last thing we might do is just slash the chicken a bit, because we're going to put a rub on it, and that'll just give us a chance for some of that rub to get in and around the chicken. Same on the other one.
I think we have to buy the scissors, honey.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Okay, we'll do a little rub.
I think it's going to be easier than
Yeah.
This one's just like a hot honey rub, so it's a little bit of sweet, a little bit of heat, and it'll give it a really nice colour. Same on this side. This is usually when it goes windy and blows it all for everyone to have a little preview, a little taste. Do both sides. Ooh, cheeky. Fantastic. So I might ask somebody to open up one of the eggs for me. Now again with the egg, don't forget to burp the egg. If anyone's thinking what on earth is he talking about, when you start cooking at higher temperatures on the eggs, there is a cuddle up on that. You might get a backdraft if you just straight up open the lid. So you have to open it a bit, close it, and then open it up again. It just gives it a chance to equalise. So we're going to put these skin side down to start with. They're just going to go nicely on the inside. So I'm going to keep my eye on them. So we're direct grilling, so it's just coals and then the meat. I'm going to keep flipping. Probably every 10 minutes or so, or if I remember when we start doing other stuff. About 10 minutes or so until they're cooked through. Of the chicken, of the egg, 200, about 200 at the moment. So skin side down first, just to try and set the skin a little bit, and then flip it over and get the bone side down to finish off a little.
With the wrap, do you normally do it just before you go on, or do you do it?
Usually a little bit before, but obviously with the class and trying to do it all from scratch. But yeah, if you can do it a little bit longer, if you can do it a little bit overnight. Something with rubs that's interesting. Like if you do, say you do like smoked pork ribs, usually the first two ingredients in a rub is salt and sugar. Say you did some, you were going to do some pork ribs, you wanted to rub them up first, and then like, let's say you get distracted or your plans change. Salt and sugar also is what you use for your main curing ingredients. So if you left them like 3 days, you might start creating like bacon groups, because it will start to change it and cure it, which isn't a bad thing, but sometimes you feel, oh, I've got a really good smoke ring on that one, so it might just be that you start to kill the outside. So I'm going to try and remember my internal clock for that one, so it's sitting about 150, 200. Do you guys know about direct and indirect grilling? So direct's where you've got coals and then a grate, so it's very aggressive, very hard to cook with. So you might have stuff like your steaks, chicken wings, anything that's kind of grilling is usually direct. Indirect means you've got something in between. So for the eggs you've got these plate setters that lifts around from the bottom, and that's where you've got charcoal, reflector plate, and then your food on top. And that little deflector plate means it's now a much calmer cooking environment. So you can do your baking, you can do pizzas, you can basically anything that's you want to have a slightly more gentle cooking. If you're doing like a porchetta, you might do that indirect. So get it nice and cooked all the way through, then remove the deflector plate, get the temperature cranked up a bit, and then blister it up for the crafting. On an egg, it's much easier to get the temperature up than it is to bring it back down. So in like a domestic oven, you might start doing it on a hot setting, set your crafting, and then reduce the temperature. You do it the other way around on something like the egg. All making sense so far?
Yeah.
We're doing all right there. We're doing
Yeah.
all right. So again, today you can do all the dishes on one egg. I'm just showing off. I've got 4. And we've got a little mixture. We've got a couple at the front so people can come and have a go and have a look and keep an eye on a few bits. And then up here I'll be running around looking at bits and pieces. I'm just going to probe some butternut squash. These are looking lovely now.
Smell nice.
They normally come for that.
No, most people are trying to get it, done at the same time, but it definitely helps. You've seen that now. We've taken the skewers out. It just wants to fall apart. 100 million?
Or in your room?
Well, it takes a few months to go through a few years. But yeah, I've had they brought some AI agents.
And you guys got the AI agent?
I wasn't really cool. I mean, I've got a plan for the financial services, any kind of bank. And
My food. Anyone's having the food. It's me.
It's just done on the hot plate, not on the rotisserie.
No, literally just on the grill, the big green eggs. Big rather than mini.
You're saying, so you see them when they had the cross in them, so that helped us keep them really nice and tight. Now it's out, they'll just literally pull themselves apart.
Lovely.
So it's a really good trick to have that.
So how long
cross
was that
in.
in for, on for?
I'd say probably about 45 minutes, something like that.
And was that on the left-hand side when or the right-hand side?
So it was on the right-hand side direct. So we had it skin side down.
That's quite hot, that one,
A
isn't
nice colour, about 180-ish. So kept flipping it every about 10-15 minutes until it's got a really lovely colour. Once it hit, I was like, right, I don't really want it to go any further than that. I moved it over to the left one so it was indirect. If I was at home, I would have just taken the top grate off, put the deflector in, and just finished it over the indirect heat. Yeah, super quick.
And then at night, somewhere to go for dinner.